going on, everyone? Gormy here with FMBase. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys the top 5 4-2-3-1 tactics that at the time of testing are the top 5 4-2-3-1s over on FMBase. So that is what we will be going over in today's video. You guys will be able to download them over at fmbase.co.uk. There will be a link to our website down below in the description. That is where you guys will be able to find those tactics that you guys see here in today's video. But if you guys do enjoy today's video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit that sub button? Without further ado, let's get into the video. So first up, we've got the 4-2-3-1 high score by Ptax, I believe is how you say it. It is a fairly basic 4-2-3-1. There is only instructions added on the Shadow Striker, I believe, roam from position and move in channels. And every other position that you guys see here on your screen is left as is. That's the advanced forward on attack, the wingers on attack, deep line playmaker on support, box to box, the inverted wingback, central defender, ball playing defender, and sweeper keeper. All of them are left as is. The Shadow Striker on attack is the only one with added instructions of roam from position and move into channels. It is played with an attacking mentality. In possession, play fairly narrow, pass into space, play out from the defense, work the ball into the box, use low crosses, shorter passing directness, when in transition, counter press, counter, distribute to fullbacks, and throw it long. And then once out of possession, use offside trap, much higher line of engagement, higher defensive line. We force the opposition to the outside with it, use tighter marking much more often, trigger press, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and get stuck in. And as always, if you guys are having trouble with cards, take get stuck in off. It will drastically improve the number of cards that your team is conceding. But we tested with 3 clubs in England. Let's see how they did throughout all the competitions. So, in the Premier League, we tested with Liverpool, who ended up winning the league, Aston Villa, who finished in 9th but won the Carabao Cup, and then Crystal Palace, who finished in 16th. So, this tactic comes in 5th for a reason. I feel like it definitely underperformed based on what I was expecting out of it. It may be because it is a fairly basic tactic, but I mean, Liverpool still got to a semi-final in the Champions League with it. They were runners-up in the FA Cup. Aston Villa were in a semi-final for the FA Cup as well. Aston Villa won the Carabao Cup. So, I mean, Liverpool, they won the league. Aston Villa get some silverware, and they go to the Conference League because of getting that silverware. But Crystal Palace finishing down in 16th, just not all too hip on. I would definitely suggest, if you are looking for a tactic to help you out in the domestic cups, this is definitely a tactic to go for, as Liverpool were runners-up in the FA Cup, quarterfinal Carabao Cup, Aston Villa semifinal of the FA Cup, and champions in the Carabao Cup. So if you guys are looking for a domestic cup tactic, this is the 4-2-3-1 to go with. Coming in at 4, we have got Altero's I'm Happy 4-2-3-1. It is a very solid tactic. I really like how it allowed Real Sociedad to perform. We tested in Spain with this one, and Real Sociedad almost won the league. So very, very solid tactic. I really like how it did perform. It allowed Real Sociedad to win some continental silverware as well, which you guys will see in a moment. But getting started up top, we've got an advanced forward on attack with take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, and tackle harder. An attacking midfielder on attack behind him with take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, move into channels, and tackle harder. We've got an inverted winger on attack on the left side with take more risks, shoot less often, get further forward, stay wider, and tackle harder. We have a winger on attack on the right side with cross from byline, shoot less often, get further forward, and tackle harder. We have Mazzala on support with take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, get further forward, move into channels, close down more, and tackle harder. We then have a central midfielder on automatic, which will go to whatever mentality you are currently playing with. And he has take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, get further forward, move into channels, and tackle harder. We then have 2 wingbacks on support with take more risks, cross from deep, dribble more, run wide with ball, shoot less often, sit narrower, and tackle harder. 2 ball-playing defenders on defend with pass it shorter, take fewer risks, dribble less often. Not dribble less often, but you get the point. Dribble less. Shoot less often, stay wider, and tackle harder. And then you got a sweep keeper on support left as is. Mentality is attacking. You can switch it to whatever you need for whatever scenario you guys may be in with your team. Once in possession, play fairly wide, underlap on the left and the right, and play out from the defense. We use low crosses, extremely high tempo, and run at the defense. When in transition, counter press, counter, distribute to fullbacks, and roll it out. And then once out of possession, use offside trap, much higher line of engagement, standard defensive line, force opposition to the outside, much more often trigger press, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. This tactic overall, very, very solid. Let's see how the clubs did within the competitions. All right, so as you guys can see here, we tested with Real Sociedad, Barcelona, and Real Hispalis, aka Real Betis. And overall, happy with the results. They all finished top 6. In my opinion, they're all top 6 clubs as well. Real Sociedad finishing a point off of winning the league. If they had one more point, and depending on the head-to-head with Real Madrid, they probably could have won the league. Barcelona finishing in 3rd, and then Real Betis finishing in 5th. All of them getting continental football the next season. Real Sociedad, as we can see over here, won the Europa Conference League. They were in the Europa League, but got knocked out in the groups by a point, but won the Europa Conference League, which is good for them. And then Barcelona are the only other team out of these 3 that won any silverware, and they won the Spanish Super Cup. They did get to a quarterfinal of the Champions League, though, which is nice. They got knocked out by Liverpool. But overall, happy with how these Spanish clubs performed. Very happy with how Real Sociedad performed. I really, really like testing with them within FM22. If you guys need a save idea for FM22, highly suggest Real Sociedad. Very, very solid club. Next up, coming in at 3, we have got FMBase Martin Snoop 4231 that we tested in France. And PSG were able to get a treble with it, so very solid tactic here that we have. It starts with an advanced forward on attack up top. Would take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, and tackle harder. We then have a shadow striker on attack behind him with nothing added. Winger on support on the left has take more risks, shoot less often, tackle harder. The winger on the right also has the same instructions. We got a central midfielder on attack with take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, move into channels, and tackle harder. We also have a roaming playmaker on support with dribble more, shoot less often, move into channels, and tackle harder. Got 2 inverted wingbacks on attack with take more risks, dribble more, cut inside with the ball, shoot less often, stay wider, and tackle harder. Inverted wingbacks on attack. Very, very good this year in FM. Highly suggest giving them a go. Then we have 2 central defenders on defend with take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, stay wider, and tackle harder. Any sweep keeper on support was left as is. It's played with a positive mentality, but whatever scenario you guys may be in, you guys can adjust it to whatever you guys need. Getting into when we are in possession of the ball, it's played fairly wide. Extremely high tempo, work the ball into the box, use low crosses. In transition, counter press, counter, roll the ball out to the right center back. And then out of possession, use the offside trap, much higher line of engagement, standard defensive line. Much more often trigger press and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I would say it's a highly attacking tactic. I don't believe it to be a highly attacking tactic. I think that it is definitely more so, as it says down here in Team Fluidity, structured. It's very structured. It makes sure that it covers all areas of the pitch. It is kind of like having total football in a 4-2-3-1. Make sure that whatever needs to be done can be done with your side. So, here we are. We tested with PSG, Olympique Marseille, and Stade Rennais. And as you guys can see, PSG finished on 107 points, did not go invincible with this tactic like they did last week with the 4-3-3, the Shaolin. make sure to check that video out. I'll link it above here. But they did have a crazy goal differential again. They had a 130 goal differential, which is absolutely nuts. They got knocked out in the quarterfinal of the Champions League by AC Milan. They won the French Cup and they won the Trophée des Champions. They performed very, very well overall, going 35-2-1. Olympique Marseille going 26-6-6. Strasbourg actually did very, very well. That is nice to see. And then Stade Rennais finished in fourth, so all three clubs finishing top four, just like they did last week. This tactic, very, very solid. Mbappe scored 37 league goals with it, so that is nice to see. Olympique Marseille are the only other club that really went deep out of these three in any competitions. They were runners-up to PSG in the French Cup. And then for the Europa League, they got knocked out in the quarterfinal by Napoli, who ended up having a pretty solid season. Overall, though, out of these first three that I have shown you guys, I would definitely give Martin Snoop a go out of all these three. I do like the other two, but I really, really like how Marseille performed, giving PSG a run for their money, the best that they could. If Marseille had a few world-class players like PSG did, I think that Marseille probably could have won the league. But, hey, that's up to you guys to do. I would love to see you guys take a Martin Snoop tactic like this with Marseille and topple PSG. Let me know down in the comments if you guys can do that. Coming in at number 2, we have got the attacking 4-2-3-1 by Blod3. I believe that is how his name is said. It is a attacking 4-2-3-1, like he said, which features a segundo volante on attack, which you don't see all too often in tactics. So I was intrigued to see how this would turn out. Turned out pretty well. So, starting off with the advanced forward on attack up top, all that is added to him is shoot more often. We've got an inverted winger on attack on the left side would take more risks. Inverted winger on the right side would take more risks. An attacking midfielder on support also take more risks. Then we got the segundo volante on attack with tackle harder. We got a deep line playmaker on support with tackle harder. Fullback on attack on the left side would get further forward and tackle harder. We got a fullback on attack on the right side would get further forward and tackle harder. Then we've got a ball playing defender on defend with tackle harder and a central defender on the defend with tackle harder. Then we have a sweep keeper on defend, left as is. It's played with an attacking mentality. It is fairly wide, play out from the defense, work the ball into the box, use lower crosses. Then it has a higher tempo and run at defense. We counter press and counter and roll it out. Then when out of possession, use offside trap, higher line of engagement, higher defensive line, trigger press more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. This tactic, tested in Italy, did fairly solid. Let's see how all the clubs did within the competitions. All right, so as you can see, we tested with AC Milan, Atalanta, and Roma. AC Milan winning the league on 92 points. Atalanta finishing in third due to goal differential, or else they would have finished in second. And Roma finished in fourth with 77 points. AC Milan got knocked out in the semifinal of the Champions League by Bayern Munich. And they did, however, win the Italian Cup, so that is very nice to see. Zlatan Ibrahimovic with 15 goals. Absolutely love seeing that for him within the league. Atalanta did get knocked out in the first round of the Champions League, but got to a quarterfinal in the Italian Cup, but got knocked out by Inter Milan. And then Roma, they got to the semifinal of the Europa Conference League, but got knocked out by Real Sociedad, who ended up winning the thing. And then they were runners up to AC Milan in the Italian Cup. So very happy with how the Italian clubs performed. They all went somewhat deep or pretty deep into all competitions. Atalanta is the only one that kind of got knocked out early within a competition. That was a first round knockout by Bayern Munich in the Champions League. But AC Milan getting a double by winning the league, winning the Italian Cup, And then Roma got to a semifinal, finished fourth, and got runners-up in the Italian Cup. So very, very happy with that. But now let's see what tactic takes the number one spot. So coming in at number one, we've got Ptax 11 roll 4-2-3-1. That's right. 11 different rolls within this tactic. I didn't know that it could be done and pulled off to where it's actually very, very good. Ptax did it. This is a very, very solid 4-2-3-1. Highly suggest giving this one a go. Same with the last two that I have just gone over. But with this 11 roll tactic, it is very, very interesting on how you would play it. You need to kind of make sure that you have players that can do a little bit of everything in every position. That is why I chose to test with a team like Bayern Munich, test in a league like Germany, where a lot of the teams have players that can do a little bit of everything, especially Bayern Munich. Because, I mean, a player like Joshua Kimmich can play this inverted wingback on attack role super duper well. So can Pavard. So really looking forward to seeing how we did in the competitions with the three clubs here in Germany. Getting things started with the tactic up top, we've got an advanced forward on attack, would take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, and tackle harder. Got a shadow striker on attack behind him, would shoot less often and tackle harder. An inside forward on attack on the left side would shoot less often, tackle harder. A winger on support would take more risks, shoot less often, tackle harder. Central midfielder on attack would take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, move into channels, tackle harder. Deep line playmaker on support would dribble more, tackle harder. We got a wing back on support on the left side would take more risks, dribble more, shoot less often, tackle harder. Ball playing defender on defend would dribble more, shoot less often, stay wider, tackle harder. Central defender on defend would pass it shorter, take more risks, stay wider, tackle harder. Inverted wingback on attack would shoot less often and tackle harder. And then a sweep keeper on support left as is. It's played with a positive mentality and when in possession, play fairly wide, play out from the defense, work the ball into the box, use low crosses, and extremely high tempo with slightly shorter passing directness. When in transition, counter press, counter, and roll it out. And then once out of possession, use offside trap, much higher line of engagement, standard defensive line, much more often trigger press, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I'm really looking forward to seeing how a tactic with 11 different roles, which I feel would be very, very demanding on a team, performs. So let's see how these three clubs did within the competitions. Well, we tested with Bayern Munich, as you guys know, and Frankfurt, and Union Berlin. Frankfurt finished in second, and then Union Berlin finished in eighth, but Bayern Munich won the quadruple. They won the league, they won the Champions League, they won the DFB Pokal, they won the German Super Cup. Very, very impressive. Robert Lewandowski with 38 goals in the league. That is nice. Joshua Kimmich at the inverted wingback on attack position with 19 assists. That is phenomenal. That is very, very good. They ended up beating Chelsea 4-2 in the Champions League final. Let's see what Frankfurt did now. Frankfurt, like I said, finished second in the league. They got knocked out in the second round by West Ham United in the Europa League, which actually, these two teams are in the semifinals of the Europa League in reality, so congrats to both of those clubs. But they were runners-up to Bayern Munich in the DFB Pokal, so that is very, very impressive. Then we got Union Berlin finishing in eighth. They unfortunately did not qualify for continental play, but they did get to the semifinal of the Europa Conference League, which, I mean, I'm sure that club would definitely take. They got knocked out by Copenhagen, which Copenhagen ended up losing to Real Sociedad, which, I mean, we could have had two of our testing clubs play each other in that final if they had beaten FC Copenhagen. So that would have been nice to see. But they did get knocked out in the first round of the DFB Pokal by Victoria Cologne, which is pretty disappointing there. But overall, happy with these German clubs with how they did. I wish Union Berlin could have gotten to that final of the Europa Conference League, gotten further in the DFB Pokal. But Eintracht Frankfurt performed very, very well. Very happy with how they did getting to the DFB Pokal final, losing to Bayern Munich. But they did also finish second in the league, so very happy with that. And Bayern Munich getting this treble, what's not to like about that? I mean, 4 trophies, that's an incredible year. It's very, very hard to do. And they did it behind Robert Lewandowski's 38 league goals, 9 goals in the Champions League, 8 in the DFB Pokal, and then in the Super Cup, Serge Gnabry had a hat trick. So that is very, very impressive. So yeah, this tactic with 11 different roles absolutely blew me away. This tactic, like all the others, can be downloaded over on FMBase at fmbase.co.uk. There will be a link down below in the description for you guys to where you guys can click that. Check out all of our articles, our forums. Tarantino has created a new save called London City FC. If you guys wish to check that out, it's a custom club. Very, very fun. I'm currently doing it myself, having a blast. Definitely give that a look. But also, all of our tactics, which we have hundreds of them over there. Definitely give it a look. Once again, link will be down in the description. So that is going to do it for today's top 5 video. Let me know what formation you guys want to see next for the top 5 tactics. Comment it down below in the comments, and I will look through and pick one out and see which one we go with next. Maybe thumbs up a comment that you guys like, and the most thumbed up comment for the next top 5 I will make sure to do. So yeah, with that being said, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.